Hey folks, it's William with All Solar Texas. Today we're going to be talking about the Texas grid crisis and what you can do to be prepared for the coming meltdown. Stay tuned. All right, folks, but before we dive in, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to contact us, email us, text message us, reach out to us, give us a call. We are here to help customers figure out what is the right type of system for them to install if they're looking to go solar, whether or not you're looking to be on grid or off grid. If you're looking to have batteries or generators or just offset your power bill, reach out to us. We will pair you with one of our energy experts, or you might just get me, and we will make sure that we'll talk you through all of your options and make sure you get a great deal and that you don't get taken advantage of. All right, so we are coming to the end of the Texas summer. It was a record heat wave this summer. We had over 50 something days of 100 plus degree temperatures just here in the central part of Texas where I live. Now, when I first was taking a look at the ERCOT forecast for supply and demand at the beginning of this summer, I saw that there was going to be some pain being felt all across Texas. For the first time ever, ERCOT was forecasting that their supply would not be able to meet the demand this summer. Yet we still saw that there was plenty of power to go around through most of the days, even these record high heat waves. So how in the world is that possible? How is ERCOT able to look at their grid and their forecast for supply and demand and get it so wrong? How did I get it so wrong? Well, they underestimated wind and solar power. You guessed it. It wasn't the traditional forms of energy that bailed us out and bailed the Texas grid out this summer. It was actually the abundant wind and solar resources that we have as part of our energy profile. So those two energy sources, those two generation sources showed up in a huge way to really help offset the increased record-setting demand that ERCOT was seeing from Texans all across this great state. So what is to come in the future? What can we expect from the future? Well, I kind of have to look at it this way. We got lucky this summer. We got really lucky this summer. If wind and solar had not shown up in such a big way, we would have been looking at cascading blackouts and brownouts. In fact, we did see some periodic blackouts and brownouts throughout the summer, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it should have been. We saw many days that were coming right up against the peak supply, and then a conservation notice went out and people were able to conserve just enough to keep us under. We were really fortunate, but if we didn't have those two large generation sources feeding our profile, we would have been in for a really big world of hurt this summer. In fact, for the first time, ERCOT is now forecasting a supply shortage to meet the demand of even the off-peak months, which are the winter months, the fall and winter and spring months. So now it's not just summertime that we have to worry about peak demand causing brownouts and rolling blackouts and losing power and catastrophic grid failure. It's now year-round. Texas is one of the very few states in the entire United States where 12 months out of the year we are heading into an energy grid crisis, where at any point, at any time throughout the entire year, demand can surge, the supply not be able to meet it, and then we could be looking at catastrophic grid failure. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a question of just when. In fact, we no longer just have a few thousand people moving to Texas anymore. Last year, we were looking at about 3,000 people on average moving to Texas daily. With the migrant crisis down at the border and with the influx of people moving here from out of state, but also from these other countries along the southern border, we're looking at 9,000 to 10,000 people per day during some of these peaks. And that's not even the cap. We don't even know what that actual cap looks like, how many more people will be pouring over the border and coming in and moving out of higher cost states. So the population is just exploding. It's growing rapidly, and we don't have the energy infrastructure to support it. It's not possible. So solar used to be something that I looked at as a product to help offset the cost of energy, to help customers really get a hold of their energy costs. Now I'm really looking at solar and backup battery and generator as an existential opportunity to survive, just to survive the coming Texas grid failure. Not just survive the little peak failures that we have during the summer where we have rolling brownouts or blackouts. We are putting so much stress on the grid, and the grid's not getting any younger, that we could be looking at a total catastrophic failure at any point. That's not being alarmist. That's not saying in 10 years this is going to happen, or 5 years. It could happen today. It could happen 5 years from now. All I can tell you is that it's going to happen because the grid cannot stand up to the pressure being put on it. So as a matter of an existential threat, this is huge. Our politicians really need to be paying attention to this. You should be prepping. If you have a family that you're responsible for taking care of, make sure that you have batteries, make sure that you have generators, make sure that you have fuel sources and water sources. This could be a catastrophic issue at some point here over the next 10 years at least, that we see a huge failure of the Texas grid by either increased demand, or just overloading the system, or domestic terrorism, or God forbid international terrorism or cyber attack. There are real threats to this grid. There's real threats to this economy. And Texas, being the populated state that it is, there's plenty of resources if we just prepare and if we grab those resources and make sure that we are ready for whenever that grand failure actually happens. So if you're interested in going solar, if you're looking at going off grid, or just having some resiliency around the next big blackout or brownout, or even the catastrophic Texas grid failure that I know that we're going to be looking at as a reality here over the next several years, please reach out to us. Give us a call. We will partner you with one of our energy experts that will design a system just for you. We have different types of batteries for whole home backup or just timely use backup. We also have really cool adders if you're looking at going with an electric vehicle, or if you're looking at re-roofing prior to going solar or putting in a ground mount. Call us. We will design a perfect system for you, and it's going to be within a budget that you can afford, as well as meet all of your energy goals. So thank you so much. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we're going to bring you even more information on the coming grid crisis, and God bless.